Hi guys. So I know that I haven't done a video for a while or a live for a while. And I was going to do a live today, but I'm still dealing with some pain from the dental work. So when I do lives, I tend to talk a little bit more than I normally would with video. So that's what we're doing a video today. So I did have dental work done last week, and that's why it's actually taking longer for me to heal than I thought it was going to take. So I appreciate the people that are being really patient with me. The love readings, all of the love readings for April are done. If you would like to see what's going on in your love life, you can see those love readings by becoming a member of the channel. I'm not offering them through my website or anything like that. So, but all of the love readings, and it's as inexpensive as $6.99 a month to get those love readings. So if you would like to do the love readings, you can either join by clicking the button below this, or you can go over to my Patreon. Those are basically the only personal, quote unquote, close to personal readings I'm doing right now. So I did have some weird things are happening, and people are legitimately losing their minds right now. I've had messages from people telling me that I'm not doing enough, that I should be offering personal readings right now. How dare I take time off during this? I mean, I'm not even, I wish I was kidding when I tell you that. I've had people comment and message and email me and tell me that I'm doing too much. A lot of people really want to give you their opinion right now on how to live, basically. There are gurus, like spiritual gurus, that are really profiting off of this whole pandemic that I've noticed. I think the biggest thing right now, you guys, and those people that have emailed me and commented and hit the down button, they're honestly boosting my views. And I mean, if you connect anyway in any of the videos, whether you're being negative or you're being positive about it, you're putting me out there. You're promoting me even more. Even if you hit the unlike button, the down button, or whatever, the thumbs down button, you're actually giving my video props to be shown. So honestly, people who are doing the most, who don't want to see other people thrive or anything like that during this time, it's actually the opposite effect that's happening. One of the biggest things that I want to remind you guys to do right now is to make sure you're thinking for yourself. I'm noticing that the pendulum swing is happening where it might be going off too far to the side. For a very long time, we've talked about how there needs to be a change with society and a change with organized religion and a change with democracy and a change, everything needs to change, right? We've been talking about that for a really long time. And now that this shift is happening, people are asking why, and they don't understand what's happening, and what do I do now, and how do I, create my life from where I am now. And I'm noticing that we're shifting too far. We're shifting too far of changing things. There are some things that are not going to change really, really dramatically. And I just want to make sure that you guys are thinking for yourselves, because even if there are spiritual guides out there that are saying some things that are resonating with you, if they're doing extreme, if they're really going to the extreme, then that's sort of a red flag. Also, I've noticed some spiritual guides, some spiritual gurus that will roll their eyes at somebody else practicing astrology. They think that astrology is not really... I saw somebody go, I know some astrologers are saying that this is going to happen, but really this. So it's if you're watching a spiritual guide and they're knocking on another practice, that's the opposite of what we want. We don't want to start judging people in different ways because of how they're managing to cope, right? So the big question of what now, really, like now what do we do? After everything, like we've sort of had the tower moment. We're coming into the time of having to settle in that this is our new life. This is what we now have to deal with on a daily basis, and the sadness and the changes and the shifts and the where do I go from here kind of thing. That's the what now that we're doing. So and if you're having a hard time listening to what it is that you should be listening, like if you want somebody who's uplifting, just make sure that you are still giving yourself the opportunity to make your own choices. Like, I'm afraid that there are going to be a lot of cults that come out of this, to be quite honest. Like, I'm not even halfway kidding when I say that. I do feel like there might be some people that go so extreme, right? They go on such an extreme end of things that they actually like fall off the cliff instead of like just, you know, stopping at the edge. And like the human rights activists are going to start coming out in you know, like there's a lot of anger that's being boiled up, and a lot of that I like that there was a congregation of social distance meditation that we did like there was this global meditation that happened last night. There were several people that were live online doing that all together. And I'm glad that is a sense of wanting to come together in unity. And during the Pluto Jupiter conjunction, which is only the first, you know, this is going to happen 3 different times out of the year. And honestly, this is that dramatic change that is occurring, right? First it was the karma, and now it's the dramatic change. And so there will be a lot of extreme things happening through all of this. Venus is in Gemini. Venus will be in Gemini until August because it will be going retrograde and in like June, June. It'll be retrograde in June. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But with Venus in Gemini, there's almost a sense of being smarter about getting the things that you want, about, you know, thinking outside of the box, or allowing yourself to make choices and make decisions based on how you're feeling. It's a new sense of identity with Venus and Gemini. I love the way Venus and Gemini people love because it is logical. But at the same time, it's flirty and it's fun. So
sorry, I couldn't hear what you said.
Siri. So hopefully you guys are doing well with everything that's going on. I'm really excited for Mercury to move out of Pisces and into Aquarius. I know that when that happens, like I'm excited because Mercury is my ruling planet, but with it in Pisces, everything is really fuzzy and it's really hard to communicate with people. The lag in communication is so real. But when Mercury moves into Aquarius, this happens on April 10th. So it'll be next week. It'll be after the Libra supermoon, which we'll talk about that here in a minute. But there's going to be a lot of truths that are coming out. There's going to be a lot of truth, especially since Venus in Gemini trined with Saturn yesterday. A lot of truths that are coming out, and we can't hide anymore. You know, if there were some things that you weren't totally honest and upfront about during Mercury retrograde, during Mercury in Pisces, if you told half-truths, if you weren't being upfront and honest about things, that stuff will be coming out. And that's going to be a really big theme for the April general readings when I get them started. Hopefully I'm starting them tomorrow morning. Still trying to recover, you know, and I don't want to push it because if I don't recover from this dental work correctly, I'll have to like do it all over again and it'll be worse the second time. So we're going to be nice to Betsy while she gets well. I am not currently doing personal readings. I still have some personal readings that I'm rescheduling for people. And I don't know when I'm going to get back to doing personal readings, to be honest. Right now, I'm allowing myself to take a minute and breathe and rest and not stress out about doing the most, right? Like I'm practicing what I preach, which is what I do all the time, right? I'm not hustling right now. I'm aligning myself to a new life that we're all doing. So remind yourself that it's not about doing the most right now. It's about resting and being and allowing yourself to exist in a new world. The Libra supermoon, full moon is on Tuesday. We will be doing a ritual for the members, the exclusive members. If you're an exclusive member, you get all of the perks. And that's one of them is being a part of the ritual. I am not offering them on an individual basis. I had a lot of people direct message me last time if I was offering the meditations on an individual, like on my website. And again, I'm streamlining the way that I do things. So I'm sorry that that's the way that you got it before, but that's the way we're not doing that. We're not doing that anymore. If you would like to be a part of the meditations, you'll be supporting the channel at the same time. And I appreciate all of you that support this channel. I really do. You can choose hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people to read for you, and you choose me. So more than I love it. We will be doing a members only live next Saturday. I believe it's next Saturday. And during the members only lives, I actually do one question reading. So if you have a personal reading that you would like to have done, that's the time that I'll be doing personal readings is for the members only live. So and it's on a first come first serve basis. And though that's available for the mid-level memberships to the exclusive level memberships. And remember that you can be a member here or you can be a member on Patreon. All right, let's look at the cards, you guys, and see what's going on right now. It feels really strange today. Yesterday was really kind of down, like it was sort of a drag kind of day. And today feels a little weird as well. And I think it's this Pluto and Jupiter, this Jupiter-Pluto conjunction that's happening. Things are sort of, yeah. Oh, man. Oh, I love it. Okay, so the Tower came out, and then I didn't realize there was a card underneath it until I moved the Tower, and it was the Wheel of Fortune. Things are changing dramatically. In this Jupiter-Pluto conjunction, there's a lot of people that are not taking this seriously enough. I feel like the stuff that's going on, and I know that everybody on TV talks about it, but I feel like that if people were to, I think that's changing. The people who did not take this seriously before, they're finally recognizing that this is something that they can't ignore anymore. This is not something they can ignore anymore. The Tower is about evolution. And when we want that big shift with the Wheel of Fortune, because the Wheel of Fortune is the shifting in a positive direction, all of the good things that come out of it. But that Tower had to crumble because it was built on a foundation that wasn't sturdy. It wasn't strong enough. And that Tower could be happening. The Tower could be everything that's going on in the world for you, or that Tower could be on a personal level, something personal that's happening to you. But where is it leading us? You know, when we ask the question, what now? What do we do now, Betsy? I don't even know. You know, I've had people say that to me. I don't even know what to do anymore. I don't know what to do. You look at what you wanted to do before everything started happening, and then you allow yourself to adapt. That's what evolution is about. It's about adapting to the environment. It's about shifting and changing. And there are a lot of people that don't do well with change, with big change and big shifts. And those people are having to learn how to create what they want in their life. And there's a lot of healing involved in that. So we have the Star with the Wheel of Fortune. And there may be people, the Star is about that thing that you want, that wish that you want, right? There may be people in your life that are helping you create this new reality. You may be doing it on your own. The point is that it's being created, that it is actually happening. So let's see. Let's get a couple more cards. And allowing ourselves to start from a place of humility. That would be a good place to start. To not think that we have all the answers. I know I don't have all the answers. And when people come to me and they're like, Betsy, I don't even know what to do, I tell them, I can't tell you what to do in your particular circumstances right now. And so what I would suggest and what I'm doing for myself is getting quiet. And I'm listening to my inner voice, because my inner voice knows better than any spiritual guide, anybody else in this world. And if you're having problems finding that inner voice and what to do, I have workshops on my website that are cheaper than the personal readings that I would even offer. And it's an hour and a half to 2 hours long to learn to teach yourself how to become present and to teach yourself how to listen to that inner voice and to manifest from because you can still manifest during this time. You don't have to be placed on pause. You can still manifest. We're moving in a different way. We're shifting and moving in a different way. So the Knight of Pentacles and the Chariot. So when we are pushing on, because the Chariot and the Wheel of Fortune oftentimes are very similar energies, because we have to remember that divine timing is at play with both of them. We can be behind the wheel and we can say, I want to go in this direction, or this is the direction that I want to go in. And then divine timing says, okay, well, we're going to go in that direction, but how fast we get there or how slow we get there is not up to you anymore. Right? You can have your foot on the gas and you can push that gas pedal all the way down, but divine timing is going to say, that's a little too fast for me. We need to slow down. Or, maybe then you decide, because you don't want to slow down, that you want to take a detour instead because you think it's going to get there faster, and that detour ends up halting you even more. You see what I mean? It's because whatever it is that we want, whatever it is that we're trying to accomplish, wherever we are wanting to go in, based on what that inner voice is telling us, it's the universe saying, oh yes, we've had this plan for you since the beginning, but there are some things that you have to learn before you get there because we want you to be prepared. That's what divine timing is about. It's not to annoy you. It's to help you to become, you're being groomed to get to where you want to go. And that may be just about anything. Like, for some of you, you had to stop college, right? You had to, right in the middle of your semester, you had to stop college, and now you're like, now what do I do? Now what am I going to do? Now what am I going to do? Now what am I going to do? But I want you to remember back during that semester or back during that year when you were questioning everything that you were doing anyways, and now you're getting an opportunity to take a step back to look at everything you've learned and say, is that really where I want to go? Is that really what I want to do with my life? Or is this something else that I want to do? That happened to my 18-year-old. He had no idea what was going on. He went to Colorado with some friends right when all of this started. So when he got back, he put himself in 14-day quarantine, and he literally read books about Buddhism, about being a Buddhist. I was trying to say, never mind. I'm not even going to do it. So he was reading books about becoming a Buddhist, and he was asking me questions about it. And then And so he took that time to listen, not just watch movies and play video games. I mean, I'm sure he did plenty of that too. But he allowed himself to really go within, and then he came out of it deciding that he wanted to try and go to school to be a social worker, where before he wanted to be a music producer. I mean, like night and day, right? The switch. And maybe he changes his mind again, right? But that's what I mean. That's like when we are on a path and we're supposed to be following our divine intuition, we also have to remember that divine timing happens at the time that it's supposed to. And for a lot of people, that time is now. We can start to look past the destruction. You know, I know that there's still a lot of pain and heartache and sadness and destruction that's happening on a daily basis, but that doesn't mean that we stop dreaming past it, right? The Three of Wands on the Tower. We can start looking beyond the Tower energy. We can start looking beyond the heartache and the pain and how all of it had to come crumbling down in order to be rebuilt, right? And honestly, the Three of Cups with the Wheel of Fortune, the people that have your back, the people that are for you and not against you, that's what's going to help this shift. There's a lot of unions that are happening. And when I say unions, yes, I probably mean twin flame unions too, but we're not going to get into that right now. But a lot of unions when it comes to soul tribes, soul groups are coming together now. People are reaching out more on the internet. And a lot of times we don't realize that our soul group lives halfway across the country, or our soulmate is all the way on the other side of the world until something like this happens and we're all in the same boat, right? And the only way that we can communicate is through the interwebs, right? So that shift that's going to happen is going to bring a lot of people together. And you can celebrate things during this time, even if, even if you have to be in the social distancing, you can still celebrate things during this time. You can still bring your people together. Let's see what the star energy is. I want to see what it is that we're all healing for. Oh, I love that. The Seven of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. For a lot of us, this time is about healing about like releasing old baggage and old relationships, healing ourselves, and then manifesting new soulmates into our lives with the Seven of Pentacles and the Six of Cups on the star. The Seven of Pentacles is about planting the seeds of manifestation, and the Six of Cups is the soulmate. So, what now? That actually answers the question of what now. What do I do now? You keep manifesting. You keep dreaming. And for some of you, and for a lot of you, that manifestation and those dreams are different than they were a month ago, 2 weeks ago. I know a lot of my manifestations and dreams are different than they were a month ago, because when things shift in your life so dramatically, and sometimes it happens overnight, the shift that happens overnight, you realize where you were once stuck in a certain situation, you no longer are, or you don't have to be, and your mentality changes, right? I talk about a lot how in order for you to align to the flow of what's happening in your life, you have to allow yourself to think. It's all based on your thought process. If your perception of the situation you're in is a negative one, it's going to be hard to allow that flow, because you're stopping the flow by producing the negative outcome. So instead, we have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is somebody who does things in a very methodical, analytical way, and doesn't skip the steps. And then we have the Page of Pentacles on the Knight of Pentacles. So starting off on a new journey, starting off on this new journey, and giving yourself the opportunity to do it differently. Take the steps differently this time. And see how those steps are lining up for you. Let's see what the Chariot is. The Death card on the Chariot. The transformation is real, is really real. And I think that we're all sort of headed for, there are going to be a lot of awakenings. And I don't even just mean like the spiritual awakening kind. I also mean a lot of people are going to be having aha moments. I think a lot of people of power are going to be having some aha moments. And we'll have to see, I mean, some of them are going to realize that they were so stuck in their ego that they couldn't take a moment to see how they were being more destructive. And some people aren't going to see that. Some people of power won't see how they were stuck in their ego. But I think that with this Death card on the Chariot, there's a very real possibility that the serious nature of what's happening in the world, I think it's going to, like again, you know, we've talked about the restrictions. I think something has to change. This Death card really makes me feel like something big has to change, or we may be in this for a really long time. We may be going through this cycle for a really long time. So hopefully, and I do feel like that's happening, but also on a very personal level, make sure that you're letting the shift happen. Even if it's uncomfortable, even if it doesn't feel good, you have to let the energy shift you. So, all right, guys, I hope you're taking care of yourselves. I love you all so, so much. And, I will see you soon for your general readings for April. Bye.